All right, everyone, we are back with some more information regarding the season finals and for the winter season, establishing basically happening on the 31st and the 1st of February, so the 31st of January and the 1st of February. So grateful that they're able to give us some more insight in terms of what's happening. This time we've got the time and not the place. I guess the place is BGA. The time that this is happening. So let's read through this article together and then some of my thoughts and reactions, especially as they're also going to show us some of the new cards. We've got all the Hexarchs now revealed. So as the first competitive season of 2026 draws to a close, a major showdown awaits. This January, players who have qualified since the 2025 World Championship will face off to determine who will be the first to secure a spot in the 2026 World Championship Final. This marks the first major milestone of the Year 2 circuit, and we are thrilled to share the full details with you today. Nice. Not bad at all. So, season final overview. The Winter Season Final is a 2-day online constructed tournament hosted on Board Game Arena. Day 1 starts at 3 p.m. UTC on Saturday, January 31. To me, that is 8 a.m. Mountain Time, which means it will be 10 a.m. in Eastern Time, or this is in the US. In the West, so it will be 7 a.m. I'll just make sure that it is correct. No, sorry, it is 7 a.m. for me. 3 p.m. is 7 a.m. in Mountain, 9 a.m. Eastern in the US. So not bad. That's actually a really good time for this to start because it will also be on Saturday and Sunday, basically during the day. Swiss style phase consisting of up to 10 rounds, and that depends on the number of participants, so they'll let us know. So it's a long, long day for an online tournament. Day 2 is February 1st, same time, and this is top 32 single elimination bracket from day 1. The difference here, and I'm just going to scroll up just a little bit so you can see it. The Swiss phase is going to be best of ones, 30-minute time limit. Now, this is new for me. In terms of Top Cut, we know that they've used best of 3 before, but it's a 75-minute time limit. I think that's a little bit fairer than if it was just this 60 minutes beforehand. So not as much rushing that's required when you do go to when you're going to the 3 rounds. Tournament rules: the format is standard construction from set 1 through set 4. So none of the that makes sense. None of the cards from Seeds of Unity will be available at this time, and all qualified players must use their own altered account. Account sharing is strictly prohibited, and players must play their own digital card collection. That makes sense. This has actually been put in stone based on what happened last year when a player let someone else use their account while they played in person at one of the other one of the other tournaments that was basically for a World Qualifier. That's just part of getting integrity into the game. All right, the prize structure, and I think this is great. Since every player in this tournament qualified through the competitive circuit, we wanted a prize pool that honors that achievement. From participation rewards to the top prize, here's what you can win during the winter season finals. And I hope this is replicated for every final so you know what you're going to get. If not, keeps increasing in terms of the value of what you could get. Champion gets a World Finals 2026 qualification, 50 uniques from Skybound Odyssey, 200 euro in POD credit, and an expert pack from next Game Found campaign. So trying to figure out what the game expert pack will be. I believe, if I recall correctly, it is the 6 boxes, or maybe just the 1 box. But I'll confirm and put that in the chat afterwards. All right. Finalists. So this is who comes second. World Finals 2026 qualification. So we were wrong beforehand. They didn't announce this till now. World Final 2026 qualification from this event means there are 4 spots up for grabs because top 4 gets it as well. That means there's going to be 12 people out of the 36, out of the 32 that come from these 3 season finals, plus whoever comes out in the Invitational, I guess, from the best qualified players here. So probably 16 if you use 4, 4, 4, and 4. That's more than half are coming from this single tournament, which means the face-to-face tournaments must be much more limited than they were in Season 1. So the other finalist also gets 30 uniques from Skybound and 100 euro in POD credit. Top 4 gets 15 uniques from Skybound Odyssey, top 8 all get 15 uniques from Skybound Odyssey. So the difference between top 4 and top 8 is that the top 4 also get the qualification to the Worlds. Now, I'm still assuming that the flights and everything are going to be covered. They have not said anything about that, but it makes sense if they're trying to keep it limited to still the 32 players. Top 32 get a top 32 qualifier Brassbug token, which we'll look at in just a second, and top 64 get an all-star invitational. So that's the season qualifier top players from across the world. It means that you're probably going to have some of the people already qualified be invited to the invitational. That's okay, because that's going to be the best of the best. A big tournament. So 192 players that are going to be invited across all 3 seasons. And the faction champion will get a World Championship Qualifier 2026 Hexarch cards. We'll have a look at that in a second. So here we go. You've got all players that actually play online. Now, I don't know if they're invited or they actually play. I hope it's invited, because not everyone will get a chance to actually play because of the time zones if you're in different parts, or it's been set up pretty late in the piece that if you're busy and you want to play but you just can't, everyone's going to get a Mana Moth token. And then this is the Brassbug token that is going to be provided for the top 32. Beautiful stamp. These are great. These, you cannot get them anywhere else, which is lovely. And then we're going to get through the 6 different Hexarchs. So you've got Sura Rexa Rika Hexarch, who is Axiom 5/5 for 4/4. Play me for 1 less if you control an exhausted permanent. And then it says it again, play me for 1 less if there's an exhausted card in your reserve. So you could potentially play it for 3. For 3/3. Sorry, 3/3 for 4/4. And if there are 4 or more exhausted cards among permanents you control and cards in your reserve, ready up to 2 of them. So not bad. You almost get some of these abilities for free. Not bad. Looks pretty cool, actually. She's a character, an engineer, and a noble. So I think all the Hexarchs are going to be nobles. The Bravos one is 1-Ax Rika Hexarch, character, noble. 5/5 for 6/6, and you can play it for 1 less per other card you played this turn. Just note, this turn means basically the rush mechanic, right? You've played the card, you rush, but this has on arrow pass. Now, 1-Ax leads the Marauders into the tumult to bring home wondrous catches, so we're going to find out a little bit who the Marauders are in the Rika. Interesting. It's already overstated for what you get. It has to be the last card you play because of the pass mechanic, but if you can play 1 or 2 rushes beforehand, to get a 6/6 for 3 would be fantastic. And then we've got Phoebos Rika Hexarch, character, artist, noble. 7/4 for 6/3/6. So this is the first of the Hexarch, the Rikas that we've got that doesn't have a narrow effect. So 7/4 for 6/3/6. When played from hand, target opponent reveals a random card from their hand if I'm in contact. And in contact means you're facing someone directly opposite you on Tumult. You may immediately play it for free, and it gains fleeting. Not bad. If you don't discard it, that's a really strong effect. Like you could randomly get any card for sure, play it for free, and if you can't play it, it just gets discarded. So they lose a card from hand. You potentially get value from that reduction. And as the spokesperson of the Hexarchs, Phoebos knows how to play to the crowd. Okay, we got Plutos Rika Hexarch. So this was revealed previously, and you can see the little robots, and that are bringing them fruit. 7/7 for 5/5/5. Target player exhausted resupplies, and when you make a gift, target character gains anchored. So this can be used across any of the heroes, though it is more specifically tailored to the new hero that's coming out. So you give them an exhausted resupply, you yourself get an exhausted resupply, and because you've made a gift, you can also anchor a character. There is no limit in terms of who you can anchor, so more than likely you'll anchor yourself. And Plutos watches over the Naos and controls the distribution of its fruits to the people. Okay, not bad. I think this can be easy target in terms of removal, but at the same time, very useful to be able to get an exhausted resupply as well. especially if you can play the 1-cost protection card that is in Muna available to you. Astrapi, Rika Hexarch, 6/6, character, bureaucrat, noble, and when played from anywhere, create 3 mana seed tokens in your landmarks, then I gain 1 boost per card in your landmark. Astrapi is a skilled politician with her finger on the pulse of the Rika nation. Not bad, looks pretty cool. And she's cutting a ribbon of some kind, trying to find out, maybe that's a celebration of the new statue that's been created. All of these so far are very much tailored to the heroes of the set. While other heroes may be able to use them, I think the best use for them is with the 6 that are going to come out with Seeds of Unity. And last one is Maleros, Rika Hexarch, character noble rogue, 7/3 for 3/3/4. When played from hand, pay 7 less for the next spell you play this afternoon. This is going to be fantastic for Moyo and Silk, purely because not only are you going to get a 3/3/4 out, you're also going to get a 2/2/2 Mana Moth, and you're going to be able to get a card draw, and the benefit of whatever spell you play for 3. You're getting so much value. I think it's great. Moyo needs a little bit of help. While others can use it, they're not going to get the benefit of anything else but the character being played and the spell, so they don't get the 2/2/2 bonus as well, or the card draw. But pretty useful, pretty great. All right, that basically takes us back to the Mana Moth. So how to participate? Qualified players, many of you have already qualified over the past few months through partner league tournaments or at your local game store. You can view the list of qualified players here, so you can actually click through. You'll know if you've qualified. A number of your stores are actually available. So you can see here, there is currently 67 players that have qualified. Have a look at the article. You'll see some very familiar names. And they have backtracked it all the way up to the beginning of this season. So that is the Skybound Odyssey season. So they've done a good job on that. Let me just go back. And a league organizer will contact you in the coming days to collect necessary details. In the meantime, please review your board game arena settings, as you will be required to provide your Altered and BGA account information prior to the finals. So the one thing that has come out is the account which you won your place is the account you must use. Okay? If you believe your name should be on the list, please contact your league organizer or local game store to confirm they have registered you as a winner. Should any technical issues, just contact op@altered.gg. And qualification deadline is the January 29th, so the day before, to be able to qualify. For me, what that means is your store must have processed the reporting in time to be able to then play the following day. Very little broadcasting. So here we go. The tournament will be broadcast in both live in both English and French. Partners are currently working on additional coverage options and will update this page as more becomes available. So we know there's an English broadcast that's with AWOL, which is now streaming. So it's going to be basically a lot of the old casting, the English casting team. I'll be part of that for a couple of hours during both days. It's just a tough time for me to be able to do it for longer than a couple of hours. I'll do it when my youngest is sleeping. The French broadcast is going to be on Caleb's channel, which is great. So one on YouTube. We do know that people are looking into the Italian as well as the Spanish broadcast as well. So hopefully we can get all 4 languages. One of our goals, or one of our hopes, at least in the community, is eventually that there is one channel that is endorsed by Equinox, and that becomes the channel that we all use. So that way it's like on YouTube, under the branding of Equinox, under the branding of Altered. But really fun news today. Congratulations to all those players that have already qualified. Looking forward to seeing that list grow. If anything, be given that there's 4 spots up for grabs, and if we have less than 100 people right now, this will be the best conversion rate to be able to get there, because I think the game, as it grows, Season 5 is going to have more players. Season 6 is going to have a lot more players. But and I'm also looking forward to finding out where the locations are for the World face-to-face qualifiers. And on that, I'll leave it with you. Hasta luego.